Hello, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
I'm giant now.
Jack is gigantic.
I don't like it. Watch this show. Enjoy
like
it.
this
We're
room.
talking about the bowls, talking about other stuff. Like,
Coaches.
subscribe, comment, please. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. It truly
The
is. like-
ever-changing set.
I mean, Jack looks gigantic
Why are you
next
so
to us.
high?
I'm 6'8", 300 pounds now.
I'm 6'5", 260, and you're dwarfing me.
Yeah, I know. No, yeah, I'm like the offensive tackle. You're the quarterback.
Yeah. All
And
right.
the wall is so wide it looks like we're in a prison cell.
It's just
The studios are transforming.
they're transforming.
Another brilliant idea from
I
I don't know who.
I like
No,
the
I don't.
changing
I don't like
podcast studio.
I don't like
did
it.
the old studio was boring looking, drab. So this is not going to stay white. It's going to be brick. We think
I think so.
we were told.
Like this kind of brick?
No, it could be lying to us. No, like
There's
brick.
a brick outside.
Like brick.
The's brick outside.
Like brick by brick,
Like
yes.
a very expensive watch. Yeah. That nobody buys. What? What'd you
Apparently,
say?
some people have.
Well,
I can't wait to get
that's
mine
our
for Christmas.
bonus this year.
Yeah,
No, that's our
exactly.
bonus this year. We all get watches.
That's
yeah,
our bonus.
that's our bonus.
I will say that we both ran into a problem that this new studio presents just a second ago. We were trying to write. Where are we supposed to write?
I don't know. I just realized I scratched my nuts on camera too, so I better not do that.
You also, like, the man spreading is going to be way more obvious.
Yeah.
I'll
let them see my nuts. I don't care. It's fine.
This is what happens when you like design a studio without taking suggestions from people that are like in the studio all the time.
Jack looks
I
ridiculous.
don't mind the studio. I don't mind the design.
Look how Jack looks right now.
Well, Jack always looks ridiculous.
Well,
Okay.
But I mean, he looks extra
Imagine if
ridiculous.
Katie were in that chair.
She would be bigger than me.
6'2" and then sits up like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it'd be like in between
In between two
Jokic
ferns.
and Yao Ming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were these chairs here the other day?
No, they were
No.
smaller chairs. They were little
Because I
green
would say,
chairs.
because I feel like when Katie was sitting in it, it was.
Well, Katie,
So this is the
Katie was
issue.
never sitting in
They
it.
she was
designed
before
it
the
for
episode.
because the only podcast this company cares about is Mean Girls. They've designed it for
Damn, Jack.
two people when most of the podcasts we have 3 to 4. So I don't really know what's going on there, but whatever. It's great.
Jack had to work that one in.
Yeah.
I like it.
All
I
right.
like that Jack is spicy. I also like Alex and Jordan.
Oh, I like spicy. No, I like spicy.
I like
Jack.
Alex and Jordan
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Spicy Jack is always a good
yeah.
Jack.
A little Monterey Jack going.
Oh, Pepper
Oh,
Jack.
Pepper Jack. There you go. Pepper Jack.
Yeah. Monterey Jack also very good. But
Yep.
Pepper Jack.
There's not a
is-
food that has Jack in it that's bad.
Jack in the Box is not great.
Wow, you got to that quick.
Jack in the Box.
Amber Jack is good.
What
It's a
about
fish.
Cracker Jack? Those are decent.
Yeah, those are not great.
No, it's like you have them once or twice a year at a baseball game.
Do you?
Yeah.
What are Cracker Jacks? Aren't they? Isn't it
They're
like
just
popcorn
Yeah,
with
so it's like caramelized popcorn.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not caramelized popcorn. Caramel popcorn. Caramelized would be
Caramel. Would
no
be.
caramel.
Caramelized onions.
Caramelized.
What
yeah.
else is a Jack food?
Uh,
I feel like Outback has
Jack
Jack
Rabbit.
foods. Like, like they name their.
yeah. I don't know.
Pepper Jack's delicious. That's all that matters.
It really is. It really is. It's good cheese.
I love cheese.
I'm a big cheese guy myself.
Remember on the college football show yesterday when we took a break mid-taping
To have Cheez-It?
to eat Cheez-It?
Yeah. And well, you say we took a break. We just ate Cheez-It while
All of
recording the
us.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very disgusting.
We don't respect our audience. We just eat right in front in the mic.
Well, it was Dan's fault.
Yeah.
Dan was said, "Give me the box of Cheez-It." Once they popped open. What were we supposed to do? Not eat them?
Who got the cheesiest award?
LSU.
Nice.
The
Makes
Louisiana
sense.
State Tigers.
And oddly enough, they're in the Cheez-It Bowl this year.
There's 2 Cheez-It
Well,
bowls
it's the
this year.
Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. They're in the
Yes.
Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, right?
Yes.
Is there a Cheez-It Bowl this year?
There's 2.
There's a Cheez-It Bowl,
Yeah, the Cheez-It Bowl is Oklahoma, Florida State.
and then there's the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Well, Cheez-It really went all out.
I mean, Jack is really struggling here.
Jack's up against it right now. Jack's down bad. Follow the mic. Follow the mic. Follow the mic.
What's
Just got to
happening?
go all the way down.
Keeps falling.
Oh no, Jack!
This place.
The people that are
idea.
listening are not truly getting to witness how buffoonish Jack looks in this chair.
We'll tweet out. A
You're
photo.
just you're gigantic.
This is just.
Do you want to switch spots?
No, that would.
No,
make
that
no
would
sense.
make no sense.
All right, I think I'm good.
Maybe Jack can just sit on the floor.
Maybe this is God's way of telling you not to talk.
Nah,
You ever think of that?
possibly. I thought about it once or twice.
All right, y'all ready to go?
I'm ready.
Just scratch my nuts on camera again.
Stop scratching your nuts.
I can't. They're there.
I'm so glad I don't have nuts.
Oh, but you'll never know the joy of a nut scratch.
I'm okay with that.
Am I right?
Yeah, no, that's not bad. It's crazy. Like every time I look at you, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Because I've never looked down.
Jack's looking
He's
down
never seen
on
this
us.
angle of me before.
I've never. Yeah, because like he's 4 inches taller than me.
And I will say,
5,
Brandon,
6.
I've never seen your posture so like it's good. It's a good
Well,
posture.
because if he leans back, they didn't realize the TV's he's gonna.
Well, that, and then I can't. The mic won't physically get here.
I love.
So
great planning here.
Well, I know. I kind of want to like. Can I like
you
lounge?
want me to prop your feet up? Yeah.
What is good? No.
I don't know. We'll
You
figure
could
it
have
out.
you could have your baby here.
There are people out there working on highways and digging ditches. We're complaining about.
Yeah, no, that's true. No,
Oh
that's
no,
true, that's
definitely.
true,
We are
true, true.
complete assholes. Complete.
Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Unnecessary Roughness Barstool's College Football Podcast, brought to you by.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
High Noon Hard Seltzer. You know what? I didn't even look at the flavor. I have no idea what
I'm
flavor.
about to ask you, which flavor did you pick out?
I don't know what flavor I've got.
Take a sip and let me know.
I can't-
Okay.
Without looking at it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the watermelon.
It sure is.
That is the delicious and tasty watermelon. High Noon has the best flavors in the world. I'm looking at the tailgate pack right now. It has the pear, the cranberry, the grapefruit, and the black cherry. But you can get great flavors like peach, watermelon, lime, lemon, passion fruit, guava, kiwi.
Pear.
You can get great flavors like all of those. You can buy the tailgate pack, or you could just, hey, you're going home for Christmas, you're going to be around family. Make sure you got some High Noon around the house.
Why not? I can't
Give
wait
High
to
Noon as a gift, too. Why not?
I can't wait to try the new flavors. The new flavors that have yet to be announced will be out, hopefully, by the time I can start drinking them. Also, and I'm not going to give any spoilers whatsoever, but High Noon is doing something pretty cool at the Arizona Bowl.
Yes, they
Nice.
are.
Yes,
They sure are.
so it is something that actually in the meeting that we just had before we started recording, every person in that meeting audibly was like, wow, that's really fucking cool.
I should have paid more attention in that meeting because I have no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So PFT and I were
Yes,
all like,
of
and then
course.
Katie and Bob and Brandon just wasn't listening apparently.
And
Well-
Bob was at work tonight.
He was. It was
Nice,
yeah, and
yeah.
he would not stop talking.
Did
And-
you know that Ohio is
No. I want you. In fact, I'm going to say it like this. Bob's from Ohio, and we've got the University of Ohio in the Barstool Sports
Yep.
Arizona Bowl. And he said what Ohio is known for is being the number one party school in the United States.
Yep.
And I think he took offense to it when I said it. Every school, there's 25 schools that claim to be the number one party school in the United States.
Ohio did win the ranking once. It is a big party school, but it is only really known that to the people in the Midwest. And I would put almost every SEC school up against University of Ohio in terms of just party.
Well, and
Pac-12 schools?
Pac-12 schools like
Arizona State is whatever somebody says. What do you think the number one party school is? It's Arizona State to me. First of all big colleges are party schools.
Well-
But Bob was actually like defending it. Like, as I said, I was like, no offense, I've never heard that. I'm not saying it's not a fun party
I've
school,
heard it, but
I've never heard it. And he was like, well, it is.
Outside of BYU, the spirit of every college party in America is the same. It doesn't matter what the school is.
I agree.
If you're a student at Mississippi State and you're visiting your friend who goes to Akron and you go to a party, it's going to feel almost the exact same as the party when you're at Mississippi State.
Yeah, there's differences. Ohio, I think, just for whatever reason, got that reputation. It's a much better. I think it's definitely number one party school in the MAC.
You know where I'm going next week?
Wyoming.
Laramie, Wyoming. I found that out just a second ago because my mind was going to Cheyenne.
Where's Laramie?
Laramie's about 30 minutes west of Cheyenne.
I've been to Wyoming,
Really?
I've never been to Wyoming.
Jackson Hole.
You been to Yellowstone?
Yes, pretty cool.
Are you rich?
Personally, no, but my parents are.
Good for them.
They've worked very hard for their
Good.
their
It's a
life.
good answer.
Good
It's a
for
good
them.
answer, Jack.
I
also, the
And then
show
my uncle
Yellowstone
has a
is
house
not in
there
Wyoming.
now.
I didn't.
that's
Did you know
cool.
the show Yellowstone's not in Wyoming?
Yeah, I know that. It's in Montana.
That doesn't make sense. Why did you-
Because
he
the
tried to-
ranch is called
Yes.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, he tried to pitch a Yellowstone, the show type theme
Yeah,
for one of the,
I was gonna do a parody of it.
and PFT
it's-
was like, but it's Montana.
I've never seen the show. I'm not old.
What the show's incredible. What do you mean you're
People-
not old? The show's awesome.
Alex Bennett made it her personality for about a week.
Oh, didn't she do that with NASCAR too?
No, now NASCAR's her personality.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Alex. We love you.
We do love you.
You're being very mean, girl.
Well, someone has to.
Um,
It's something about these seats. I guess I saw Pat being really mean in one of them.
Oh,
I was
Pat
like,
was
he?
so mean.
woo. There's
really
tea
glad-
all over the place around here.
I was really glad to not be involved in any of
Thank
Pat's
God.
tea spilling
Yeah.
because when Pat and Joey want a tea spill,
Oh, when those gays get going,
I mean, Pat or
they can gossip.
they can get to with the best of them.
Joey asked me a really interesting question today for TikTok, and I do feel like a lot of people that are listening to this, granted, well, it's a college football show, but he said, what do you think that the correct amount to spend on somebody that you've been dating less than a year is for Christmas? And I was like, that's a tough question.
It really depends on the male or female.
How big her tits are, yeah.
No, Brandon.
Really depends on who you're dealing with. Like,
You
if
pig.
you're trying to keep up with the Joneses with her, you got to spend a lot.
Oh, if you're competing, yeah. But I hope you're not competing if you've been
But-
with them for a year.
But you
No,
also,
I know, no, but
you
like-
also are setting the standard. I have to say my answer was the best, but because I didn't put a
I'd say
monetary value on it.
$500.
So he said that the answers varied anywhere from $300 to over $1,000.
Yeah.
My answer, and I did before I even knew anybody else's answers, because this is the truth. It's not to me about how much money is spent. It's how thoughtful it is. Have you been paying attention to that person that you've been dating for under a year? As long as you don't get something like super cheap. Like if you know the person has some money and they're cheap, that's one thing. But to me, it's like if you've been listening to me and you know what I like and you get me that, I care way more about that than if it's really expensive. At first, obviously.
If you're in Laramie, Wyoming, I'll be coming to see you next week. I'll be coming to see the University
Are
of
the
Wyoming's
gays going
football
with you?
team. No, it's just me. No, I don't think there's gays allowed in Wyoming.
Oh.
But I'm headed out there to Laramie, Wyoming. Might
I'll
be
be
a
going
cowboy.
to Wyoming soon, too.
Really?
His uncle has
Probably
a house
next
there.
year.
Excuse me, money bags.
His uncle has a house in Yellowstone.
What?
Not in
Nobody has a
Yellowstone.
house in Yellowstone.
Well, outside
not-
of Yellowstone.
Yogi Bear? Is that your? Well, that was Jellystone. Excuse me.
The
What was the Ranger's name? Smith?
too young.
I don't know. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about either.
I'm sorry.
I do
Okay,
know
no,
who
you don't have
Yogi.
to apologize.
I know who Yogi Bear is, but I don't think I watched
Yeah,
the
play
show.
catcher for the Yankees.
Yep. Baseball's 90%
God.
mental, 50% physical, right? Is that
Well,
the
no,
quote?
baseball's 90% mental. The other half is physical.
Okay, but I was close.
The spirit of what you said was
Thank
correct.
you.
Yes. So
Bowl season.
it is bowl season. We're gonna kind of run down the bowls a little bit. Not really run them down so much as just highlight what we like. And they start tomorrow.
They do. Also, if you are wanting to watch the Barstool College Football Show, we have a bowl season episode special. Wait, bowl season special episode?
The bowl special.
The bowl special.
Yeah.
So
we
it's
smoke
it's,
a bowl of marijuana.
Yes. And eat the Cheez-It.
Yes.
And then we talk about the bowl games and we talk about the college football playoff. It's airing Saturday at 10 a.m. per usual.
Yes, it is, and we got into the playoff as well. We're not going to get in the playoff on this show.
We have plenty of episodes between now and
We'll
then.
keep this one for bowls. Now, a little housekeeping. Sunday's episode will be me and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday's episode will be you and the kids.
And I'm going to potentially have a special guest.
Oh, really? You didn't say anything about that to me.
I just thought of it.
You didn't clear that for me.
I don't have to clear shit.
Yeah, you clear something. Parents just can't go against each other.
That's right. No,
Who
I
is
will
it,
clear
Noah?
Maybe I'm bringing Noah on. How do you ever think about that?
Great. Show's over.
Please,
No,
I
people
bet
would
Noah.
probably like Noah
I would
the
say,
best.
I bet
They'll
Noah
never-
would be the crowd favorite.
No, the crowd favorite will always be Katie.
Yes, correct.
You're correct. Until
We're-
she
we're-
gets
by the way-
old and we get a younger woman in there.
Yes, we'll trade in for a newer model.
Damn.
But, no, we're going on a 3-show Katie-less streak right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Timing.
she should be back Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Good.
By the way,
She has
she's-
very good reasons why she's not.
Yeah, no, she wanted to come out, but life happens. Mm-hmm. She's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, Katie is fine. She has good reasons. But I do think if we brought Noah on, that people would like Noah because he's the new shiny thing.
He is. Speaking of the new shiny thing, a couple of teams have hired coaches since the last time we left you. Now, one in dire circumstances and in kind of a tough spot. Our last show pretty much covered the life and career and just remembering Mike Leach, who passed away on Monday night, the former, the coach of Mississippi State.
Yep.
Yeah, the head coach of Mississippi State, Mike Leach, passed away Monday night, and then there's a memorial service for him in Starkville on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I won't be able to go. I'll be in Wyoming. But, so Mike Leach passes, and we, unfortunately, when it comes to a football perspective,
Signing day is Wednesday.
the timing of that necessitated moving on quickly from a replacing him standpoint. Mississippi State has hired a coach. His name is Zach Arnett. And Zach Arnett is one of the most important people in my life. He is our defensive coordinator for the last 3 years. He's Mike Leach's only defensive coordinator he's ever had at Mississippi State. And if you think you know what Mississippi State football has been the last 3 years, and then you watch them, those would be competing ideals. You think they're going to score 50 points a game, they're going to throw. But it was their defense that's been the best part of the team for the last 3 years. If you watch that Egg Bowl, they won with defense. They won several games. They've been a very good defensive team. And Zach Arnett's he's only 36 years old. He is our new head coach, and I am very excited about him getting the chance.
And he shaped a cornerback that may go like top 10.
Emmanuel Forbes, he helped shape that. He's had a very, very good defense, an attacking defense, and he gets to continue. I assume there's going to be very little coach turnover because he worked for Mike Leach and everybody else worked for Mike Leach. They'll probably have to go find an offensive coordinator to run Mike Leach's system because the personnel is going to stay the same. So I imagine you're going to see the team look a lot the same, but you had to go ahead and Zach Arnett is now the guy. He signed a 4-year deal worth $12 million. He's our head coach, not an interim head coach. He is the head coach of Mississippi State University.
And I can imagine, too, just from a player standpoint, that was the best decision that you could make because you're going to keep a lot of the guys. They're comfortable with him. From what it looks like, the entire locker room likes him. And in such a tragic situation, you don't want a whole bunch of change if you don't have to do it. This is a no-brainer. This is absolutely what Mississippi State should have done.
Purdue also hired a coach, Roberts, right? Kevin Roberts. Make sure that's right. It is Kevin Roberts. I'm 99% sure. I'm just going off my memory because I didn't write it down. He was Illinois' defensive coordinator this year. Illinois and Mississippi State playing in a bowl, and both their defensive coordinators just got jobs.
You were off. Ryan Walters is his name.
It's close. Kevin Roberts and Ryan Walters are the exact same thing.
Yes.
Who's Kevin Roberts, and where did I get him from?
Is that Kent State?
He's coming somewhere. Yeah, we're going to talk Kevin Roberts at some point, but Ryan Walters is the guy. I knew I had it wrong. That's why I was trying to.
Kevin Roberts?
Yeah, he's somebody somewhere. I don't know.
Kevin Roberts is definitely a person.
Kevin Roberts follows me on Twitter.
I might owe him money. I don't know who Kevin Roberts is.
He's the president at the Heritage Foundation.
Shout out to Kevin Roberts.
Which
he was there January
devoted
6th.
to the principles of the free enterprise, limited government.
Yeah, you and him have crossed paths a lot.
I don't follow him back, but shout out Kevin Roberts if you ever wants me.
Shout out to you, Kevin Roberts. But Ryan Walters, bigger shout out to you because you're now Purdue's head coach as they go. It's an interesting thing for me for Purdue. I can't remember a coach they've ever had that's been defensive minded. They've always been in my life a very offensive minded team. Maybe I'm just way off on that. Maybe Joe Tiller or somebody else was a defensive minded guy and I just didn't know it. But Purdue has their coach, Mississippi State has their coach, and let's roll. Let's go.
Two defensive minded guys. You said last year was the year of defense, and maybe this is
copycat league. It's a copycat league.
Jim Harbaugh.
The number one team in America right now for the last 2 years is Georgia, built by a defensive guy. So maybe it's go out and get great offensive skill players, get you a good offensive coordinator, and coach up the defense. Maybe that's it because that's what Kirby Smart's done. Jim Harbaugh's an offensive guy, but he did kind of build that team from the defense forward.
There's a specific team that desperately needs that in California.
USC?
Yes.
Yeah, well.
Interesting, yeah.
And also, speaking of California teams, UCLA officially going to the Big Ten in 2024.
So what was the deal with UCLA needing to?
So they didn't tell the University of California system before the announcement, and then the regents, obviously, because the other schools within the UC system, like University of California, Berkeley,
what the
UC Santa Barbara,
UC
Davis, on and on and on, they didn't know, and they were like, what the hell? Wait a second, are you taking money away from us? But it actually turned out, I think UCLA sat them down and was like, hey, you'll be in on the deal, and this system will get a lot of money off of this. And they're like, oh, okay, I get it. And you're still playing in California, so.
Good luck, guys. Have fun.
Yep. So they just confirmed that they're allowed to go.
Very quick question.
Okay.
What's your favorite bowl game of all time?
The 2006 Rose Bowl.
Yeah, it's not a very hard. I think there's two that stand out above all the others.
The 2007 Fiesta
Bowl game,
Bowl.
I don't think of national championships.
Okay, so then the Fiesta Bowl, 2007 Fiesta Bowl.
That Alamo Bowl when Oregon
the big comeback.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Mine is definitely
Johnny's
Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Chick-fil-A Bowl was
Against
amazing.
Duke?
Yeah, that was Duke.
My favorite bowl of all time is exactly what she just said. The 2007 Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma Boise State. I just remember I was a newlywed. Me and my wife we had been married like a month and a half, and we were just sitting on the couch watching football. And
You got married in the middle of football season?
I got married November 11, 2006.
Wow.
It was an off day for Mississippi State and Ole Miss. So we said we looked in the fall and said, hey, if we can do it, let's do it.
Did your wife go to Ole Miss?
No.
Oh, okay.
But in Mississippi,
everybody's
right,
either one.
Either one. So it was an off day for both of those teams. And then November 11, 2006, we got married, and then a month and a half later, we were watching Boise State, Oklahoma, and it was still my favorite football game I've ever watched.
Incredible. We do the top 10 bowl games that we've seen or in our lifetimes on the College Football Show too. I know that it's definitely something that it's probably just because it was in this calendar year. The 2022 Rose Bowl was awesome.
Yeah, and then also the 17?
It was 17 Rose Bowl, the 16 season, right? Penn State,
USC was
Penn State,
awesome.
USC, 52-49.
Was awesome. The Rose Bowl for a while has been just awesome.
Rose Bowl's been having some good games lately.
You and I both had the 2000 Orange Bowl with Michigan, Alabama?
The 99 season where it was 35-34.
This wasn't a great game, but what West Virginia did to Clemson when they won 70 to 28 or whatever.
The Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Do you remember do you know what the snowball is?
Oh yeah, it's a great question. Do you know the snowball?
No.
Yeah, see, a lot of people don't, but we do. It was year 2000 season, I guess December 31st, 2000, something like that. And it was the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, and there was a blizzard. A blizzard hit.
And they played?
Mississippi State, Texas A&M. And it went to overtime. We won 43-41 in overtime in the snow in Louisiana, and it was awesome.
And then the next time A&M and Mississippi State played, or one of them, was it the very next time?
The very next
time it was Mississippi State was at home, wore all white in honor of the Snow Bowl.
Yeah.
And that was when A&M for the first time ever, and Johnny was the quarterback, got to wear the all matte black. So it was like a huge deal that they had like gone away from maroon and white, but that was in honor of the Snow Bowl.
We actually we wore all white the night of the Snow Bowl, and like the highlights,
you can't see.
You can't hardly see
it's
anything.
Crazy.
You can't see the goal lines. You can't see anything.
Also, Shreveport gets fucking cold.
Yeah, but still a blizzard.
A blizzard, no, I know, but like I went to, I can't remember what year it was, but the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, in like I want to say maybe 2009, and it was at the time one of the coldest I'd ever been. Now going to games in
that part of Louisiana is sneaky more north than you think it is. Like it comes that top part. I don't know what the boot is down there. I don't know what you call the top part, but it gets colder than you think.
I know you're staying here for Christmas, but did you know? I at least it like in Texas, there might be a white Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's crazy.
Well, it snows in Alabama, as Tua said.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, we'll be fine playing in the snow Saturday night. It snows in Alabama.
He won't be fine playing
No,
in the
he
snow.
will not. No.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Also, I just...
There's a different kind of
he
snow.
He definitely never played in the snow in Alabama.
Ever, no. Also, when it snows in Alabama, it snows from like 6 a.m. to like noon, and then by 5 p.m. it's gone.
Yes.
Yeah, like
and then everyone
dusting.
had it on their stories, and they're like, oh, it's so great. And then by that time, and it's free, and it's 50 degrees.
Well, let's dive into bowls, but before we do that, Jack, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Boy.
Better than anyone I know.
Do you want a better sex life?
Oh, baby, do I want a better sex life.
If so, you're not alone. Because
Yes.
I want a better sex life, and I would bet there's not a human being alive that would say, no, I don't want a better sex life. What a stupid answer that would be.
Yeah, why would you want it to be worse?
Even if you have an amazing sex life, would you want it to be better? Yes. Yes, I would.
It's like the Alabama dynasty.
Up to 50% of men have symptoms that get in the way of wanting or enjoying sex.
Okay.
And you might be 43 years old. Maybe you've let yourself go a little bit. Maybe you've got man tits. Maybe you work a little too hard. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe you get home at 9 o'clock at night and your wife's already in the bed and you just never you never get the chance to feel a woman's touch. I don't know. I'm just saying these wild things that are open and out there. But Roman is here to help, Jack.
Yes, they are.
Roman is the THE, capital letters.
Be careful, you'll get copyrighted.
The digital health clinic for men. That was a very funny joke you just said.
College football joke.
Roman addresses a variety of sexual health needs for men, and they offer genuine medication that helps achieve and maintain a strong erection.
Yes.
A strong erection. Not just an erection, a strong one.
Strong erection.
Strong. Roman offers discreet wipes that help you last 4 times longer in bed. They offer a testosterone test, which includes lab processing, and if it's appropriate for you, they have treatment for low testosterone. In men with low T, that's me. I don't know if y'all got that joke. Hi.
No, we've picked up on the clues throughout the ad.
In men with low T, getting testosterone levels back to normal can help increase your libido. At Roman, there are no waiting rooms and no hassle. It's just a straightforward digital experience from the comfort of home. If medication or testing is appropriate, Roman will send it directly to your door. Everything arrives in discreet packaging with free 2-day shipping. To learn more about how you can achieve your personal sexual health goals, go to ro.co. That's ro.co/ Walker. If you think low T and improving your sex life, think this face.
Yep.
Walker. That's ro.co/Walker today to get 20% off your first order. One more time. ro.co/Walker to get 20% off your first order and take care of your sexual health needs at Roman.
Was there some sort of I didn't listen to any shows today, just really quickly. Was there some sort of Rico talking about mental health with comments or something?
Yeah.
Because I just got a really long apology DM from somebody that said, in the light of the Rico news, I want to look back and do the right thing. I've been very mean and cruel to you over Twitter, YouTube comments, and the live chat, and I feel like a piece of shit for treating you like this. And it's a really nice thing, but it's just very, very introspective. I've been a piece of shit.
Give that person's profile just so I could just see it.
Yeah.
Don't show it on the camera.
No, of course not. Well, it's private.
Of course it is.
Does
Yes.
that person?
And it's not a real person's face.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is.
Oh, it's a real person.
Yeah.
It looks like he's covering, but it's a very nice. It's you guys put on a great show. Just because we have differing opinions doesn't mean I should be saying it. Even more props to you since you're pregnant. You don't need the fucking bullshit with your mental state.
Yeah,
but I love
that's
at the
fine.
very end of it, he says, "P.S. I'm not an Arkansas fan."
Yeah. His next DM to you is definitely a dick pic, by the way.
But so that happened today.
Whatever.
Okay.
I don't want
All
to
right,
talk about it.
whatever. We don't have to talk about
I've had to talk about him on every
That's
show.
fine.
Can I just not talk about
yes,
him?
Yes,
You know,
I
I
was
don't
just
want
curious.
to.
I don't either.
I don't either.
I want to talk about bowls.
Let's talk about bowl games.
I have a question before I get started on the bowls.
Okay.
Are y'all ready? This is a college football question.
Yeah.
Every week, I have to do a top 10 for social. Sometimes it's top 10 running backs or quarterbacks or top 10 defenses.
Bless you, Jack.
Bless you. Top 10 this. This week I chose top 10 left-handed quarterbacks.
Yeah, I saw this.
I really struggled at number 1. Who would you say is the greatest left-hand quarterback of all time? Now, most people are going to say one
In
guy.
college football.
In college football.
Tim Tebow.
Most people are going to say Tim Tebow.
Why wouldn't it be Tim Tebow?
Because I saw Michael Vick play with my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw it. I listen. Tim Tebow has greater accomplishments.
Yep.
But Michael Vick's a better quarterback.
He also had better teammates.
Yeah, he did.
He had loaded ass teams,
Probably better coaches.
and he delivered. Michael Vick took a team by himself to a national title game. I put Michael Vick number 1.
You know what? I think and of course people are always going to argue because Tim Tebow was had all the accolades, very good quarterback, obviously. But if you're looking at just the position itself, you have to say Michael Vick, right?
It's one of
with
them.
that point.
Listen, you can.
It's wild that he's always forgotten.
You
in
can
college
get away
football
with
and
saying
I thought
Tim
Tim Tebow
Tebow
immediately.
You can say Tim Tebow or you can say Michael Vick. I say Michael Vick. I think it would be 80-20. Most people
Was
say
Steve
Tebow.
Young good at BYU or no?
Yeah, he's number 3 on the list.
Okay.
He was
Was there
great.
somebody that you didn't have on the list people got mad about?
Well, the list isn't out yet.
Oh.
But I did a
never
top
mind.
5 list
Good,
the other
hefty
day.
lefty, right?
I did the top 5 the
Yes.
other day. Hefty Lefty's on the top 10, but he was not on the top 5.
All right.
And so many people were like, "Oh, he should have been on the top 5." But I just the top
Where-
5 was loaded.
Where is he?
He's
7?
9th.
Oh, 9th. Yeah.
Yeah, he was 9th.
Is
Matt
Tua up there?
Tua's in the top. Tua's number 5, I think.
Okay.
But then you've got guys like David Green at Georgia.
I'm trying to think.
Yes, he put up David Green's stats almost don't make sense.
Yeah,
He was way ahead of his time.
Yeah,
and it was way ahead of his time from the perspective of being a really good Georgia it was crazy.
the top 5 I put out at first, and then I expanded it to top 10 for the video. You can see that later. It was the top 10 left-handed top
That's
5
2
quarterbacks
decades.
of the last 20 years, which meant Tim Tebow was number 1. Matt Leinart was 2, Pat White was 3, Kellen Moore 4, and Tua Tagovailoa was 5.
That's the one I saw.
And that's the one I put out. But then after I did it, I kind of switched it around. I think I jumped somebody ahead of Tua Tagovailoa, but I don't know who it was. Anyway.
I feel like Tim Tebow is the default answer there, but you're right. Michael
Well,
Vick is...
Tim Tebow can be the right answer. He might
Right.
be the right answer. I think Vic's got a hell of an argument too.
I don't know if it's because Tim Tebow is younger, but for some reason, when I think of left-handed quarterbacks, not because I don't think of Michael Vick being a great quarterback, he just, Tim Tebow is left-handed. You know that about Tim Tebow. And I know you know that about Michael Vick too, but for some reason, you don't think about it as much.
He runs.
The problem is you think of Michael Vick as a pro before you think of him as a college football player. When you think Michael Vick, you see him in the Falcons jersey.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't see him in the Virginia Tech jersey.
No.
You think of Tim Tebow, it's straight Florida number 15.
Well, then the Jets jersey too.
More than Broncos?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking about the one playoff game where that
was the Broncos, though.
Oh, it was the Broncos.
It was the Broncos, yeah.
But he also wore a Jets uniform for a little bit.
He did.
And then what baseball team did he play for? The Mets?
The Mets, yeah.
The Mets.
Well, the Port St. Lucie Mets, never the New York
He
Mets.
got up to Binghamton. Or
Binghamton?
Syracuse.
He got all the way to AAA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or double.
My guy, my handsome baseball friend that came in the office. Remember Jake?
Oh, yes, I do.
Played in the Met system.
I do
He
remember.
got traded to the Marlins recently.
Damn.
So I don't know. That might help his chances to go to the major leagues, but he won't be around New York anymore.
He'll still be your friend, though, right?
Huh?
Will he still be your friend?
If he pays enough. Oh, what?
I don't know.
I just can't take Jack seriously because he's sitting so high.
You're too high up.
But then if I slouch, I look much more overweight than usual.
All right. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
I had you name the top 5 bowl games of this season.
Not
this year.
including the playoff?
Not including the playoff.
Right.
Not including the playoff. The top 5 bowl matchups of this season. I just realized I wrote down 4 games. So mine might be a top 4.
I just realized that I'm also using the same piece of paper that we ranked our bowl games for the college football show. So it's one of those days. Bowl games everywhere.
What's number? Okay, so here's my top 4 bowl games this year. Okay.
Okay.
The bowl games I like the most. Number 4. I didn't write down the name of the bowl. Is it the Alamo Bowl? What does Texas and Washington play?
The Alamo Bowl.
Is that?
Because I have that too.
Okay.
Yes.
The Alamo Bowl. I got Texas, Washington 4. I have Liberty Bowl with Arkansas, Kansas 3. There might not be a stitch of defense played in that game. Arkansas's defense sucks. Kansas' defense sucks. But Kansas getting a shot in an SEC team.
It's also, have you seen that? Have you seen that video? It's a viral video of a woman not from America saying, I don't understand America. Why is this Kansas? And then why is this Arkansas?
Yeah.
When they're spelled the same. And she was like, this should be Arkansas. It's a very funny video. I think that's
It's a fantastic point.
That should be the name of the bowl.
Why do we always default to that one being right and not saying if it's Arkansas, it should be Kansas?
Oh, yeah, I think that she could have said that too. She could have done the opposite way.
Because Kansas sounds better.
Kansas does sound better. That's the bowl game, the Liberty Bowl, Kansas Arkansas, where Missouri ran away like bitches and went to play Kansas.
And then Elijah Drinkowitz went to the Missouri-Kansas basketball game this past weekend and held up a sign like he's not the biggest dork in the SEC.
Yeah. Number 2, I have the Rose Bowl with Penn State and Utah.
Wow. Look at you. Putting your beef aside.
That's a good... she does this every time. She does this every time.
I have to do it.
I have no trouble with the Rose Bowl, the football game. It's Rose Bowl, the organization, that gets in the way of progress.
But I understand that, and I do. But when we do like the biggest villains bracket in the offseason and the Rose Bowl comes up, there is very little amount of time that you talk about how awesome the actual game is.
The game can be fine.
You're admitting it now because they're out of the way.
But the organization got in the way of progress and loves the smell of their own farts.
But
That's
now
true.
they're out of the way.
Yeah, they're probably for now. For now, you never know when they're going to do something.
But you know it's beautiful.
My
Say
number 1,
it's beautiful.
It's fine, whatever.
Say it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Number 1 bowl this season. I don't know why I love this game so much. I just think this has a chance with Cade Klubnik taking that job and with Tennessee's offense being high scoring and the fact that it's just going to be the orangest Orange Bowl ever. The fact that these teams were born to play in the Orange Bowl. Clemson, Tennessee, to me, the Orange Bowl is the best bowl game of the year. Outside the playoff games. I don't think it's a great year for bowl matchups. I don't know that I love a lot of these, and I also like Florida State, Oklahoma in the bowl that they're playing in. Go ahead. What do you got? We have the same bowls, the exact same bowls.
So you can read right here. Yeah. So my number 5 would be Oklahoma, Florida State in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Sure.
Number 4, South Carolina, Notre Dame in the Gator Bowl, which I do. I'm very excited to see how South Carolina can continue this offense. Notre Dame doesn't have Drew Pine, but then the Rose Bowl, Utah, Penn State. Alamo Bowl, Texas, Washington, Orange Bowl, Clemson, Tennessee.
And I just realized we both have the same number 1 bowl. That's the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl.
That we will be doing the pregame show and halftime show for.
Yep.
With PFT and Will Compton.
I'll be going out to, like I said, Wyoming to interview players for that for the pregame show next week. So that's what's going on in my life.
December 31st.
30th.
On Barstool.tv.
That's a Friday. It's the day before the playoff games.
Yep, that should be awesome.
It's going to be great. We have some crazy things planned. I'm very sad Dan will not be parachuting in from the top of the stadium.
That's because you are, right?
Yes, that they cleared that immediately. They were like, you know what?
Oh, yeah, she'll be fine.
She'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Um,
But yes, the number one is the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl.
do you have any more that we haven't mentioned?
Yeah. I do think the Cotton Bowl could be fun.
That's Kansas State, Alabama.
No, Tulane, USC.
That's Tulane, USC.
Kansas State, Alabama is also one. I didn't write that down,
That's the
but I'm
Sugar Bowl.
excited for Kansas State, Alabama.
I just don't think
mean,
Alabama's
Jalen-
going to care.
I wonder if Bryce Young's going to play. We'll see. And then also,
Why would he? I can't imagine him playing.
the Duluth trading care ball between UTSA and Troy should just be
That's
like
tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that should just be like the G5
That's
championship
amazing. They
bowl
start
kind
tomorrow.
of.
Yeah. Those are two really good teams.
And they're both 11-2, and they're both probably going to really want to win that game. So that should be fun. And obviously, the best bowl of the season is the Myrtle Beach Bowl between UConn and Marshall, Monday, 2:30 p.m.
Throw out the records when UConn and Marshall get together.
Yeah, that's never happened before. I'm pretty sure.
Well, good. So
The
we
fact
don't have
that it's-
records. That's good. That makes sense.
2:30 on a Monday is just so
All right,
beautiful.
all right.
All right. Hey,
No,
come
no,
on,
I'm saying
hey,
it's
hey,
beautiful.
hey, hey.
I'm saying it's a
Hey,
good
less
thing.
of that. Less
No,
of that.
hey,
Pause.
hey.
yeah.
I'm saying it's beautiful because that's just bowl season at its peak. It's like you don't know what day it is, especially that the week between Christmas and New Year's. It's already just a time zone. I mean, it's what am I looking? What's the word I'm looking for?
It's a time.
Bermuda Triangle.
No, you never.
You don't know what day it is. You don't know what time
you
it is.
never are more clueless about what day and time it is than you are between Christmas and New Year's.
Absolutely.
This game's before Christmas.
I understand, but she was talking about bowl season at large.
Yes.
That's fair.
She was using this game to make a point about bowl season at large. Don't just because you're higher than us doesn't mean you should be high and mighty.
Yeah. Thank
know.
you. Thank you,
I
Brandon,
love
for having
the
my back.
under in UConn Marshall.
Shut up. What you said was stupid.
UConn's going to win, too.
No, it wasn't. It was right.
They're 10-point underdogs. I'm excited.
Hey,
Oh.
hey, Prime members.
Hey.
Hey, I'm
Have
a
you
Prime
heard?
member.
Have you heard? You can listen. You can listen to Unnecessary Roughness on a lot of places. Watch it a lot of places. But have you heard? You can now listen to Unnecessary Roughness ad-free on Amazon Music. If it's ad-free, but I'm saying an ad on the show.
Because other people
No,
have
Amazon. Okay, yeah.
Other people have not moved to Amazon yet. Maybe you're listening on a different platform.
Hey, Prime members, have you heard? Unnecessary Roughness is now ad-free on Amazon Music. With the Amazon Music app, you get access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts. And it's now included with Prime. I'm a Prime guy.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm a Prime guy. To listen, visit Amazon.com/roughness. Amazon.com/roughness. Avoid the ads and listen to your favorite Barstool shows on the go, offline, or wherever life
So that
takes you.
includes everything, like the podcast I mentioned earlier. Mean Girls, you can listen to that ad-free. If you don't want to listen to the...
Does one of them owe you money?
No, and then...
Maybe.
And then, obviously, part of my take. What are some other poppin' podcasts?
Mean
these
Girl?
days? Mean Girl.
Out and about?
Out and About, poppin'.
I do love
The
Out and
Yak.
About.
Start listening ad-free by visiting Amazon.com/roughness. That's Amazon.com/roughness. Whoever wrote this ad copy really had loved that last line. Start listening ad-free by visiting Amazon.com/roughness. That's Amazon.com/roughness.
They
Amazon.com/roughness.
The copywriter. No, the Amazon only hires the best. we love Amazon Music, and it's a new way to listen to podcasts.
I do.
Especially if you're a Prime member.
I'm so Amazoned up in my life.
Amazon, yeah.
I do not even think about ordering anything online unless it's from Amazon.
Yeah, I'm Amazoned up. I'm to the
So
hilt.
now make it part of your podcast listening.
Yes.
Do it. Make it part of your
Make
rotation.
it part of
Good
it.
Lord.
And by the way, Amazon, shout out them. You remember back when you first were able to order things online and it was like 2 weeks delivery and you were just
Yeah.
like, all right, like I'm just accepting my fate. Amazon you can order it and get it to your door that day.
Back then, you'd order something, and then when it showed up, you're like, what is this? Now, just
No.
it shows up before you get finished ordering.
You get mad if it's not there within 24 hours. Shout out Amazon.
I have top 3 teams with the most to gain in bowl season because obviously, and playoffs aside, because you know what you have to gain there. But in bowl season, let's be honest. Bowl season isn't what it once was as far as prestige and importance when it comes to college football. That's what the playoff is now. Used to, when I was a kid, waking up January 1st was amazing because you'd have all the good teams playing all day long, and it was awesome. You don't really have that as much anymore. But that doesn't mean bowl games have lost all value. There is intrinsic value into playing another game. First of all, every coach in America will tell you getting to the bowl is very important for a developing program because you get 15 extra practices and you get to develop your players 15 times further, and you get to see some younger guys in a game situation. And I feel like that's what we've lost when people look at bowl games now and they say, oh, well, he opted out. Well, look at the opportunity. Now you get a chance to see next year's team. You get to see the young running back who's going to replace that star running back now in game action. So I think there's a lot of value there, and I've got 3 teams who I think have the most to gain in this particular bowl season.
I wonder how many we have overlapped. I honestly, I know sometimes I lie to you and say that I'm not reading your paper, and I have not read your paper.
Number 3,
okay,
the Clemson Tigers.
I do have them on my list.
The Clemson Tigers.
Most specifically, Cade Klubnik.
Because of Cade Klubnik,
Yes.
the team is on here. They're playing a Tennessee team who went 10-2. These are 2 very good teams, and they're playing in the Orange Bowl. That's not a small thing. But more importantly, they know the DJ Uiagalelei era is over. And even more important than that, they know the Cade Klubnik era has started. And he was electric in the win over North Carolina to win the ACC championship. If he goes out and throws for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns and they beat Tennessee, the hype machine for Cade Klubnik coming into next year is into overdrive. The hype machine for Clemson goes into overdrive. They could win the entire offseason by beating the brakes off of Tennessee in this game.
And it's so good for his confidence level, too. He's so young. But all season, we sat here, we've sat at every desk, and we've been like, why is Dabo holding on to DJ? Yes, we know he was supposed to be the guy, but if you bench your starting quarterback because he just stinks, there was no other reason why he benched him earlier in the season, and then you continue to stick with him, if you're if you're a freshman quarterback like Cade Klubnik, you're like, why, what else do I have to do? Why do I have to keep proving myself if they bench DJ? Now, it's out of the way. DJ is out of the way. He can focus on being the starting quarterback and prove to that fan base that he should have been starting the whole season.
My number 2 team with the most to gain, the Kansas State Wildcats.
Ooh, I don't have that one.
Now, this is a situation where I have to admit it as an SEC fan. 10 years ago when an SEC team would lose in the Sugar Bowl because they didn't make the championship game or the playoff, and they would say, oh, because you beat us because we didn't want to be there. Utah beat Alabama because Alabama didn't want to be there. Texas beat Georgia because Georgia didn't want to be there. That was bullshit. That was mostly bullshit. I mean, they were there. They were playing. But now when you play in Alabama and somebody says, oh, we didn't really want to be there, there's proof. Like, my quarterback didn't play. My Will Anderson didn't play. Like, all these players didn't play. But ultimately, that doesn't matter because every single scholarship player that plays for Alabama plays for Alabama, and they better be ready to play if they're going to be in a bowl game. And Kansas State is rolling right now, just beat a playoff team in TCU, just won the Big 12. Kleiman's got that program kind of up and running, a lot like it took him a little bit to build it to a high level, but I feel like he's going to be able to sustain. And if they beat Alabama in a Sugar Bowl, that's a huge, huge, huge rose on their nose.
It's very good.
Yeah, it would be a big time win for them.
And we talked about, teams want to be there or not. I mean, look at what happened with Texas when they beat Georgia in the 2019 bowl season. And granted, Texas didn't, become who we thought they were going to be, but the we're back and all that, because Georgia didn't want to be there. Georgia did not want to play in that game. They thought they should be in the playoff. Even though that's an excuse, it did take Texas to that next level, so Kansas State has that same ability this year.
What's your second game?
My second game?
Or second team with the most to gain in bowl season?
It's funny that we just rolled right into this. Mine would be the Texas Longhorns because they are playing Washington in the Alamo Bowl. Michael Penix versus Quinn Ewers is going to be awesome. I know Bijan Robinson is not playing, but we have had all the hype in the world surrounding this Texas team and Quinn Ewers, and it's not. And Michael Penix is going to go crazy too. But I think Texas has the most to say. Okay, we know that this is the quarterback that we're going to continue to roll with. We've got Arch Manning coming very soon. However, if they can really capitalize on this season and say, if Quinn wouldn't have gotten hurt, if he wouldn't have gotten injured, this team would have been in a completely different position than it is, finishing this bowl game against a red-hot Washington team. Obviously, they didn't do enough to get into the playoff, but I think that could really elevate Texas going into next season.
My number 1.
Uh-oh.
Did you do this exercise?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was your number 3?
My number 3 was Clemson.
Okay.
And my number 2 was Florida State.
Explain.
I think Florida State has a chance to really – there's already –
a 10-win season for them, right?
Yes, and really with Jordan Travis announcing that he's coming back,
Huge.
they just picked up Jaheim Bell, the
South Carolina tight end that played like running back. I think he played quarterback in that UNC versus South Carolina bowl game last year. Yeah.
I think Florida State has an opportunity to really capture that momentum into next year and also really say, hey, the ACC's down a little bit. We can take over. Yeah. And with Jordan Travis coming back, Jordan Travis could start a Heisman campaign in this bowl game as well. So Florida State has a lot to gain.
They could be a preseason top 10 team next year.
Yes. Oh, for sure. And the hype, I'm kind of excited for it because we get a crazy fan base back into the fold. We had that with Tennessee this year.
Yeah.
Florida State fans were the original delusional Twitter fan base talking about the Noles. And you know that even when they were down, if they get back to being good and they become cocky, we better watch out. So
Florida State Twitter it's
something.
A crazy place. Never forget they were burning Deion's jerseys last offseason.
My number one team with the most to gain.
Oh, why are you looking that way?
Oh, I know what he's going to do.
What's he going to do?
I almost did this, but I left it to him.
What is it?
Come on.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Yeah. Oh,
the Mississippi State Bulldogs just lost a legend of coaching who was in the middle of building his program at Mississippi State, Mike Leach. He is gone, and they quickly decided we are going to continue the Mike Leach system, the Mike Leach tree. Zach Arnett is our guy. He's not our interim coach. He is our head coach, and that means he's going to be the head coach for the bowl game. They're playing in a stadium with a fucking pirate ship in the end zone. They are playing to raise the Mike Leach flag. They are playing for Mike Leach. They are playing to also say, our coach is gone, but we got a coach. We got our guy now, and we're going forward as a group. We're going forward together, and we're going to beat Illinois. We just won this game, and we are not going away. Mississippi State, and I've talked to the assistant coaches and about playing, and they're like they want to play this game. The players want to play this game. They want to go out and they want to honor their coach. And if you lose this game, man, you were up against it. Your coach passed away. But if you come out and you win this game and you're able to stand on the field and shout out your coach, that's a lot to gain in my opinion.
The emotional, everything surrounding it is going to be, something that you
Could
hope.
be the story of the bowl season.
Right. You hope that your team.
Outside of the Barstool Bowl.
Yeah, you hope your team never has to deal with it. But the emotional capacity that it's going to take this team to even get up for it and get excited. But just imagine the pregame speech in the locker room that we're not going to get to hear. But imagine the festivities beforehand and just all the honoring it's going to be. You're absolutely right. From a human being standpoint, because at the end of the day, we're all humans, even if we don't act like it. That's by far the most to gain of the bowl season.
I was thinking about Mike Leach yesterday, and my favorite, not one of my favorite, but I think something that our last, quote unquote, controversial Mike Leach story was he told the player, you're too much of a pussy to play for me. Yeah. And I thought that's the perfect way for him to go out.
Did you see that player's Dylan Johnson's tweet?
What did he say?
No.
Well, he just came out and he said, listen, I know we had disagreement, but we're family. I love you, coach.
It
was
I'm not, that wasn't calling out a bad player.
I know. But
it is true that's the last thing we talked about.
Yeah.
And it was the last Mike Leach thing. And the guy was like, this coach thinks I'm too much of a pussy to play for him. And maybe he is, maybe he's not. But that was very like Mike Leach. He was just like, oh, no, he wasn't probably even mad at him. He's like, you're too much of a pussy. Get out of here.
I know we talked about it on the Mike Leach tribute episode, but to hear it back again when he was asked about his obituary, because the clip went viral again, it was just so sincere. What do I care? I'm dead anyways.
Yeah.
It's just Mike Leach, is up there looking down. Can you guys just talk about football for a fucking second?
He's watching film on Illinois. All right, who's your number one?
My number one is the opposite of what Jack's number two was. Florida State's playing the Oklahoma Sooners in the Cheez-It Bowl. I think Oklahoma has...
This is a very good point, and I didn't think about it like this. Because I thought Florida State, I agree with you, but her point might be better.
That's why I had the game. That's why I have the Cheez-It Bowl game on my top 5, because both of these teams have so much to play for. But we've been sitting here all season saying, is Venables the guy? Is he the coach? And OU fans have ridden this roller coaster up and down all season. If they can go in against a Florida State team who played really well, like you mentioned, Jordan Travis coming back, they're looking for 10 wins, and really put an emphasis on the fact of, you know what? It's not been perfect. We've gotten our doors kicked in, but this team going into the offseason is taking this seriously. Venables has the locker room. He's got the culture going the right way, and get that OU fan base back truly on his side. The offseason looks completely different than if they go into this game and get their shit kicked in by Florida State or even lose in a way they don't like. The offseason vibes in Norman, I think, are completely changed with the outcome of this game.
Yeah, it's such a great point.
Thank you, Brandon.
No, really, if they lose this game, they have a losing season.
And they are pissed.
And they're pissed, and it just doesn't feel right. But if they win this game, okay, you took a month off and you got them right, Coach.
Yes.
And you beat a team who's got all the momentum in the world and who looks pretty good. You're playing a good team, so that's a great point.
Oklahoma killed Florida State in a national championship.
Didn't kill them, beat them 13-2.
Oh, really?
Beat
them 13-2 in 2000. Josh Heupel was the quarterback.
Yeah, it was 13-2.
It was 13-2. That was the final score of a national championship.
Oh, USC killed Oklahoma in 2000.
55-19. 2003. No, 2004.
Okay.
2003, Oklahoma lost 21-14 to LSU in the national championship game, but then the sports writers said USC should have a share of it too, which is bullshit.
Yeah, it's the fact that that's
Thank God we
anything.
don't really put any value in them anymore.
No, fuck them. All right, what's your number one?
I will say, though, also shout out to OU fans that this game obviously will matter no matter what, but they don't have to watch USC in the playoff.
Oh, yeah,
they're
that
happy
probably
about
helps.
that, too. They're happy about that.
Who's your number one?
Texas. I kind of did mine more like who can establish the fastest hype train leaving the station of bowl season. I think Texas, and they're just, if they go out there and score 42 or 49 on Washington, which is possible, Washington has a decent defense, but let's just say and they shut down Michael Penix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think the Texas fans are gonna be like, hey,
yep.
Last year, if Quinn never got hurt against Alabama, we would have, who knows, and then that hype train is through the roof.
I feel like
I
the
love that we
Texas
had the
hype
same
train is almost a scheduled train at this point.
Yes,
It
Like
is.
every January it pulls out of the station.
But it's like, but for good reason. I mean, me having Texas there is the exact same reason Jack had Texas there. It's because you like somewhere in our brains as college football fans, you keep waiting for the Texas is back to be legitimate, even if you don't want it, even if you're a Texas hater or you root for a rival team, whatever. That Texas is back thought in your head. It's like, is this going to be for real next season? And this is a good way to get back on track for them. But I still say that the fact that the three of us did this completely separately and we all have a lot of overlap tells you from a standpoint of just the quality of the games, there are some really, really good bowl games. And then there's just bowl season. There's not a lot of games that, like, I feel like every year they're always different. This year we all had a lot of overlap.
I do think the 12-team playoff is going to give us 11 interesting games very, very soon. So hopefully we'll get to that very soon. But right now, I mean, the bowls aren't what they used to be. That's just an honest-to-God fact.
And the transfer portal, too.
When you're sitting at home on December 28th and you're wondering, what am I going to watch tonight? And you turn it on and you've got a great bowl, or you got a bowl game. You're going to watch it, and you might see a 3 overtime game. You might see who knows what. It's college football, and it's unpredictable, and it's fantastic. And when you think, oh, this isn't very interesting, that's when it gets you.
Look who's calling. You want to answer it? You got something to say to him?
I have nothing to say to him ever.
Okay. Yes, you do.
Anyway, let's. You want to get out of here?
Yeah.
So you can talk to your man there.
So a valued friend in the company.
That is Casey Smith. Jack, anything to add?
No, I'm top G now. Up top. I'm the top G of the podcast.
Isn't that?
I don't care.
Is that like Andrew Tate's?
Yeah, it was a joke.
Oh.
That's unnecessary reference.